What's up, guys? I am trying something a little different today for the Sunday reflection I am live and I didn't advertise this or anything. So I don't know if anybody will join me or not, but if you do, awesome. Hopefully this doesn't go too haywire. I'm always scared to go live that something crazy will happen and we'll be caught on camera forever and unable to be edited out, only deleted. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about this morning was seasonal affective disorder, or also known as seasonal depression, that sort of thing. And this is something that I have struggled with, and I'm medicated for. And it's definitely getting to be that time of year where it's coming on strong. My mother has the same issue, and she's had some problems the last few weeks. And how it presents itself with me normally is just this time of year, kind of getting late into the winter. Just they call winter blues, that sort of thing. Fortunately, it hasn't presented itself as anything too serious. In the past, it has. In the past, I've had kind of meltdowns, um, unable to get out of bed, that sort of thing. This year, like I said, I'm on some more medication to kind of help, and it's just kind of presented itself in kind of unproductive terms. So, I'm depressed because I'm unproductive, and I'm unproductive because I'm depressed. And it just really sucks. Especially being on the homestead, there's not a ton of stuff that you can do right now on the farm. I got about a foot of snow on the ground, and there just aren't a lot of projects and things I can work on. And it's really hard this time of year because you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you got to be getting close to something. Spring is right around the corner. So there's a few little things that you can do, ordering your seeds. For some people, they're starting their seeds. It'd be a little early for me to start my seeds right now, but I'm kind of getting my plans in place to do that. But it just really stinks because it's miserable outside. I don't really like to work outside in this weather. It's just a downer because I can't be with my animals as comfortably as I'd like to be. And then the challenges with having your animals in the cold and keeping them good and healthy. We've suffered a few losses this winter. I keep losing quail, and it's just really, really frustrating. Whereas I don't think I would have those challenges if it were warmer out. It just puts an extra toll on everybody. And so that just adds to the mind part of it, as you start to feel like a failure because you're having these setbacks in the winter and you can't go as easily be with the things that make you happy, growing stuff, babies on the farm. I wouldn't hatch anything right now. I've tried to breed back my rabbits, but not as actively as I do in the spring. If I don't get a fall off, I don't pursue it too much, because I don't want to have issues with the kits in the cold and that sort of thing. And it's just, give the mamas a break. But we do have Coco that hopefully will be having a baby someday. Oh, hey, Willow Cove, what's up? Yep, exactly. It's this time of year. Like, even honestly, the reason I'm doing this live is because I didn't get around to recording the damn video. And so I thought, well, this is a good opportunity to do the live. But yeah, that sort of headspace where you're like, I need to do something. And then you get started on it and you're like, this isn't what I wanted to do, and I keep finding myself like, I just want to lay in bed And that makes me feel like crap because there are things I could be doing, but they're not really making me happy. And it's just very, I'm so over this. And like the snow really stinks. It's hard to get around in, just walking out to do the chores can be exhausting. I'll have a video up next week of little bit and I walking around the snow, and she can barely get through the snow. And sometimes I feel like these drifts, I can barely get through them, with your coveralls on and everything, and you're carrying buckets. And it's like, why does everything have to be so hard? You're constantly refilling waters, and just the guilt if you don't go out and do it. I don't have kids, but I've heard of like mom guilt, that you're not the best mom, you're not doing justice to you for your kids and that. And like, I feel that with my farm sometimes. And, am I really doing justice to my farm? And like, am I really doing the best for my animals that I can? And gosh, if something happens, it was my fault. And it's just Luna, she's not really a livestock guardian dog, but she's our farm dog. She's outside. She takes care of everything. The other day, we've had this dog show up, and I think I showed it in a video that he keeps showing up, and she'll take off with him, and she always comes back. I've got a cattle farmer down the road, and she never messes with them or anything. But she took off, and she was gone the whole day. And I felt terrible. I was like, I'm not being a responsible pet owner because she's taken off, and who knows what she's got into. Maybe somebody shot her, and my mom just lost one of her Great Pyrenees, and we lost Bubba this week. Bubba was old. That was bound to happen. That wasn't anybody's fault. But she finally showed up the next morning, and haven't really let her out of my sight since. But just that additional guilt, like it's cold out, she's gonna be out all night. She's out all night all the time. So it's just kind of like a head thing. And I'm over it. So anyway, seasonal affective disorder, if it is something that you suffer from, push through. If you're really having dangerous thoughts, I encourage you to get help. People say, oh, you just get outside, get that vitamin D, or, exercise more. And that's easier said than done. If you're in that space where you can't even get out of bed, it is a large leap to say, get out of bed and go exercise. I like running. I haven't done it for a long time, but that's a big, big step from feel so terrible, I can't even get out of bed, to I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to go for a run, or I'm going to go for a walk. Baby steps. Get there, get yourself out of bed, take care of yourself, make sure you're doing, the basic hygiene. You're brushing your hair and brushing your teeth. I like literally just woke up. I'm still in bed. And, make sure you're checking those things every day, that you're taking care of yourself. You're talking to loved ones. You're, communicating how you feel. If you're having a rough day, Melissa and I talk about the depression monster, and that's kind of our way of signaling to the other one, like, hey, I'm kind of having a tough time here, and so we take care of each other and make sure, like, hey, I'll get supper tonight, like I'll go do the chores for you, or, those little things to just help each other out. Yeah, the mud. That's one thing. Like, okay, now we have the snow and I hate it. I want to get rid of it, but I don't want it to melt. I wish I could just like make it disappear, because when it starts to melt, it's a muddy freaking mess. And you got dogs in and out, and the goats are like screaming at you like it is your fault that you did this, how dare you. But take care of yourself. Sometimes you just have to do the bare minimum. Everybody's got those chores where it's like, this is the full chores. And then you have that like version of like, I got shit to do and I just need to get these animals fed, watered, and I got to go. And so, some days that's what you have to do. It's your animals and your farm's very important, but you're important too. And those things aren't going to flourish if you're not. So make sure you're doing those things. Next steps would be, you know, talking to a therapist. I don't have any personal experience with that, but you know, there's all sorts of resources out there where you don't even have to go see a therapist anymore. You know, there's counseling available online, that sort of thing. So I know some therapists are doing calls or like video chats, so you don't have to travel, you know, with COVID and everything, you don't have to be face to face. And then, of course, you can always talk to your doctor about getting on medication. And that is something I was dead set against for a long time. And finally, it got to the point where I was like, I can't keep doing this, you know? And my doctor was very receptive. Same one that my mother goes through. So that kind of helped. She understood family history and all that. And so I started out on a very light antidepressant. And then I bumped up to the next dosage, which is the highest dosage I could take for that one. And it was working really well for a long time. And then when this time of year rolled around, I actually added another one. So, you know, and I feel great, like most of the time, you know, it just helps kind of take that little edge off. There's tons of options out there. So don't be afraid to look into those and talk to your doctor about it. And hopefully you have a good doctor that will be receptive to you explaining those things. And if you don't, get a different one, because there's just no sense. And I remember the very first time I mentioned it, it was a different doctor that I had about getting on antidepressants. And she said, well, maybe you just need to exercise some more. I was training for a freaking half marathon. Like, what are you talking about? So I was done with her. Like, it just made me feel like crap, you know? So anyway, but yeah, it is real. It's a real thing. And, you're not alone in it, you know, by all means, you can always reach out to me. I will talk to you about it. I think this is very common. But we see the things online, you know, everybody's got, oh, this beautiful homestead and they're kicking ass with their seeds and everything. But I think this is more common than you'd think. Like, we all like to be outside and enjoy the sunshine. So this time of year, I think, is probably hard for everybody, but it's just not talked about, you know? We want to make videos that are fun and people enjoy, and talking about this stuff isn't always fun and not as enjoyable. But, you know, I just wanted to get this out there in case anyone else is in the same boat as me. It sucks. It's hard. We'll get through it. My mom's got this sign up at her house, and I need to get one for this house that says something along the lines of, no matter how long the winters, the joy of spring will always follow. And she always, growing up, she would point at that sign, you know, because she burned wood. So we had to cut wood, you know, like all fall, carrying wood. And she had this little rinky-dink wood stove in a 2-story house. And so getting up, carrying in wood, you know, we'd huddle by the fire in the morning and run to the bathroom and turn like literally the hairdryer on to warm up. And oh my gosh, it just sucked. And we'd complain about it, and she'd point at that sign, spring's coming. I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, like I could choke you right now. So yeah, winter's always been kind of rough. So anyway, I'm coming up on 15 minutes here. Thank you for joining me and somebody to keep me entertained while I'm talking to myself here. And maybe I'll just keep doing it live every Sunday morning and see how it goes. But I got to get dressed, got to go do chores, and hopefully I'm getting my truck sold today. I got someone coming to look at it. So it'll be a good day. So I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.